Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pauper Premiere League. I am Evan Irwin. We're here with Michael Bunda. If I did that okay.
Yes,
that's good.
You did.
I'm Southern dude. He's a super cool European guy, which is awesome. And we got to watch me put the shields down, and don't put the shields down against a deck that has Goblin Grenades. That's today's lesson.
Yeah, I did the same. I put the shields down, and then I got lit up as well.
Yeah, it's not a deck that you want to be like, okay, you just do you. I'll catch up. We'll be there in just a minute. Like, no, they'll just kill you out of nowhere. And so game one, shields went down, died a lot. Game two, I felt like it was one of those games where both I was struggling on mana, and the other half was if I could either just have one more mana, or if I could just stop playing around like literally everything. Yeah. I was trying to play around if they have Fireblast, and if they got Goblin Grenade, and if they got another Bushwhacker or something in hand, like it kind of got to me. And before you know it, I was kind of out of options. So
yeah, but there are a lot of options as well. So you had like 5 decisions, I think, each turn. Ponder, keep up Spellstorm's Bright, play Spellstorm's Bright, end of turn. Ninjutsu, Electrickery, or Fire and Ice. There's just so many different decisions that lead you down a path where you're depending on your top deck if you don't play the manipulative card.
Right, and so there were, somebody in the chat was just like, you had Electricity with 3/1/1s. It's like, yeah, I also didn't have 2 red mana, so like, I can't draw the extra red mana. I can't overload the Electrickery, and then you got the card list and sack to give +1/+1, and things start to get complicated essentially.
Yeah, I agree.
It was fun, but both. I needed more time in testing. I tried to test as much as I could, but clearly not enough. And the other half was I feel like I just needed more time just getting reps in.
Yeah.
What the decks are doing, how they sort of explode, what exactly should I be playing around? Like, yeah, I know what's in the Affinity deck, but I don't necessarily know how they're going to play it or what they're going to play, sequencing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The things that you get when you really kind of bore down into matchups and cards and valuations and all that stuff.
So what we're seeing here when they start, we're going to see Alex, who we just watched beat both you and me, play against Andreas on Affinity, who started off the league with the first game.
Yeah, with smashing me. All right, cool. So we have been thoroughly smashed by all of these competitors. Now we get to see them go against one another. So that should be very exciting. And then there's one more match after this one, which is you versus Andreas. So you get to take on the Affinity matchup yourself.
Yeah, the 7 a.m. grudge match.
I was going to say, it's almost midnight. We're past 11:30 at night. So it's what, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning?
5:34 a.m.
Oh my gosh. The things we do for Magic the Gathering, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm going to Krakow in 3 hours. So that's pretty good to play the GP.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey man, so the grind doesn't stop. The grind never stops.
When you like to do something, you should try and do it as much as you can.
And it clearly appears that you are. So that's great. At this point, I would love. Do you know what an MPL is? Could you tell me what we're doing that for? I want to get people involved in it. I'm ready.
In MPL?
Yes, the MPL. I want the MPL is sweet. Wizards is doing the MPL. I want to see what's going on with the MPL for next year. I'm very excited about that. All right, we're good to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it. All right.
So we have the game up.
The game is up and rock and rolling. Can I view this one? Yes, I can. I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to watch the actual game. I'm not watching the right game. Okay.
So Alex is firing off on all cylinders with a pretty neat hand here. 2 Mogg Catchers, or Mogg Cohort, and it's not called Mogg Catcher.
Mogg Conscripts.
Mogg Catcher is rare. And Andreas is playing a pretty decent blocker with a star on the battlefield.
Ooh, that's a sick draw from Alex.
Yeah.
Like, he is crushing it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, eat one of my guys. I don't care. He's going to block the 3/2, and they'll get in for 7.
Yeah. So the funny thing about playing these super aggro decks is when you have Fireblast, which is an insane common, and Lightning Bolt, and Goblin Grenade, you have so much like reach in pure damage, and you just know that Andreas has no way of dealing it. So it's actually a race. So here you just want to chip him a lot of damage, and then just Fireblast Lightning Bolt. So you know that if he goes to 7, he's dead as the game is right now. And being at 11, it's pretty close to 7.
Right, he has a creature in hand. So at this point, he has literally the exact perfect mana to finish the game should nothing else change.
Yeah. And Mogg Raider even sacrifices to give another Goblin plus. So depending on what Andreas does here, it could just be lights out.
Right, Andreas is just like, please stop killing me. I just want you to stop doing that.
Yeah, this is 3 creatures though, so that's a nice draw as well.
Yeah, we're back to Bushwhackerness. And then the question is, are you going to be sacrificing more artifacts to that ATOG? Is that what you want to do at this point?
Yeah, I don't think so when you have a lot of cards. So let's see here what he's going to do. If he doesn't know that Alex has a burn, right? But he must have something when he doesn't play lands. So even if Alex has an additional Bushwhacker, it's still just pretty irritating for Andreas here.
Oh my goodness. Is he really just going to let him? What? No. He's figuring out how it's going to block here. The Arsonists are going to be able to do an extra damage to something.
Yeah. Which
can matter from time to time.
But yeah, and this actually makes, if Andreas chooses to block like this, he doesn't go down to 7. He'll go down to 9, and then he'll take 1 ping from the Arsonist, going down to 8. Nicely playing around.
Old Fireblast.
Yeah, exactly. So it has to be like Goblin Grenade Lightning, but he's at least playing against some of the damage. He
can. There's a chance to catch up here, but I mean, we're on the edge of a knife.
Yeah.
We need like Galvanic Blast plus additional creatures like yesterday. Drop a Frogmite, give him something. Just give him something to put in front of these things to stop them. Just make it stop for like a second.
So let's see if Andreas is lucky enough here. If he draws an artifact land. I think he did. So now he has and a Frogmite. That's pretty neat.
That's good.
You'll have the Convoke counterspell up with the Prism, being able to take away a Fireblast as the game looks right now. So I would say Andreas is not ahead, but it's definitely...
that was huge.
Yeah.
Myr Enforcer.
Yeah, he definitely stabilized here.
Yeah, that was a huge draw, and/or play rather, because if the train just stalls here, if he draws a Goblin Grenade, the game's over. There's tons of outs here for Alex.
A fun thing here, actually, something that we talk about a lot, me and Andreas and Zane Wilson, we usually like Skype doing the challenges. Andreas kept up 1 Great Furnace, even though he has the counterspell. And it's sometimes because we're so dependent on our visual recognition and like muscle memory. We just say like, yeah, he has 1 red up, so it's Galvanic Blast. It's not a counterspell. But he can just put the mana into the Prism and then tap the 2 artifact creatures and fire off a counterspell.
Nice.
So it's like a little sneaky way of mispresenting the game state in a strategic way.
Now now Alex is still in a good position, but at this point, Andreas has stabilized in the fact that cohort can attack unless Alex draws a creature.
Yeah.
And plays it, of course. And if there is, go ahead.
Yeah, and having enough artifacts, he can actually play the Serpent here, and starting applying pressure with the 4/4, giving or putting a talk lethal at his next swing, I actually think.
That is an aggressive attack from the Frogmite.
Yeah, but I think having the counterspell, you need to chip in some damage so that next turn you attack with the talk, and then it's lethal if Alex doesn't block.
Yes, because Metallic Rebuke is the counter spell
Yep.
that we're discussing, which is the mana leak
Yep.
with Improvise. So there is the Gearseeker Serpent, and still has up mana for Metallic Rebuke if you'd rather just pay full retail for it and use the Prism.
And as SSBM1up says correctly in the chat, Alex has to think about the attack lethal. So right now attack is 12, 14, 16. So it's 17 damage the attack right now.
Right.
So with a fling, it will almost be lethal. So taking 2 damage from Frogmite is actually pretty crucial.
It's true.
Let's see, it's 16.
And taking 4 here is a big deal.
Yeah.
So 1 and then 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So yeah, that's a ton of damage just sitting out there. Well, I guess 15 technically if you were to eat the Myr Enforcer as well.
Yeah, it is like the attack really. Like I played a lot of Affinity, and the attack really gives some reach, and it has some pretty intricate situations where should I block, should I not block, how much damage can I take, am I dead to fling? Like there's just so much going all the time.
It's incredible that we're in a commons only format, and yet like just right on the edge of like he's at 20, but he could be dead if they draw the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And there's a Mogg Raider.
For those of you who are kind of new to the whole Pauper scene, after the KCI ban in Modern, the Chromatic Star actually like plummeted in price. So the Affinity deck became super cheap again. So it's a pretty good gateway into the Pauper format.
Absolutely.
So is the Goblins deck as well. There are some expensive decks, but these 2 decks are on the, I think, $30 to $50 range, and super competitive.
Right, and you have just like weird stuff like the Mox Monkey you have with the Gorilla Shaman, like stuff like that is your expensive cards or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So here goes Atog chowing down artifacts. There's a non-zero chance that he pays for Gearseeker Serpent to be unblockable and hits for 5 and flings for the win.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. Knowing that there's no combination, the only other combination is the one that he has, which is how could he stop Gearseeker Serpent, which is Bolt Fireblast.
Yeah,
but that also kind of basically concedes the fact that you're not going to be able to more or less win this game. Like he's right here. He's at the cusp. If he draws an Arsonist, draws another Bolt, like there's so much that he could draw right here.
Yeah. And now I think Andreas is he knows that Alex has to jump with the attack here, since it would be lethal. So
going down to 16.
Yeah, and he's only attacking here because he can deploy Frogmite, because he really does not want to take so that he dies to Fireblast. Andreas is a pretty good Magic Online player and Magic player in general, so he knows something's up. There's 3 mana on the board, and Alex hasn't done anything with the 2 cards in hand. So he knows that there are some burn spells here.
Okay, that was interesting. Bolting the.
I think he wanted to check if there were any counterspell. Like he did it against me as well, like sacrificing when I tapped the mana. So I think he's trying to he knows that he's so much behind that he needs to win this turn.
Wow.
He's trying to optimize his way of dealing 8 damage.
He had the Metallic Rebuke right there.
Yeah.
And it worked. And as a result, Alex scoops him up.
Yeah, I kind of like bolting the frog, because if Andreas is super afraid what's going on and that's accustomed to playing Pauper, he might just counter that one and then it's game over. Then it's lights out. And that's the only way Alex is winning this game. It's by Andreas counting the frog. But if Alex just fires off in the face, Andreas will just say, okay, fine, what else do you have? And not counter it when it's only 3 damage.
Wow. That is some expert play right there.
Yeah, I think it's a nice play from Alex. It's giving
Giving what?
X amount of extra percentage in a losing game. Like it's probably 1% more when you play 100 games, since someone will actually counter the Frogmite. Some say it's cute, some say it's angle shooting, but I just think it's a strategic play to see if, are you afraid of this? Because I can have Bushwhacker, and then you can be that on board.
Right.
So I like it.
Very nice. Yeah. Excellent players playing excellent Magic. And the Affinity player winning that after being so far in the hole, down to if literally anything goes wrong, they lose. And Andreas is like just going to curve his way to that little path all the way to victory.
Alex has, on the other hand, he came prepared. We didn't know what each other submitted, but Alex actually submitted 3 Gorilla Shamans.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good against the new Tron builds that are really heavy on the Astrolopes, and then Affinity has had an uprising lately. So
and Flame Slash is good as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So Flame Slash, Gorilla Shaman, and then maybe a Pyroblast or 2. I don't know if he's gonna put them in.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
it's one of those how hard do you fight the Hydroblasts, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
How much do you care? I'm not sure.
Not like
all right.
this.
So let's see here what we have here, Evan.
We have a mulliganable hand right there. All right, going down to 6. That's a fine hand. I think you drop the Denizen. And then you have 1 drop into Mogg War Marshal at that point, or you could just play the Denizen into War Marshal, attack for 3.
Ooh, Alex Mulligan down to 5, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Denizen into War Marshal with Flame Slash backup is still fine game.
Yes. Double Flame Slash, as we see. But like Alex came with the Shamans. Andreas came with the little pesky math removal dude. Let's just see what it's called here. It's called the Kark Clan Shaman.
Yeah, Kark Clan Shaman is a hell of a Magic card. Let's see here. It says sacrifice an artifact, deals 1 damage to each creature without flying, and it is a 1/1. So you have to stack those things in order to make it deal more than 1 damage. But that's okay. Letting the Mogg War Marshal die, which will let the Foundry Street Denizen be a 2/1 to attack through that Frogmite. It's going to be a fine game. It looks like we're going to Flame Slash it instead.
And some people, when they play, they might have just like dumped the Shaman. Can't say the name. Drop the Shaman and use the 1 red mana because that's how we usually perceive Magic, that we need to get as much out of our mana and tempo. But not playing it on that turn gives Andreas a fine opportunity here to just like snipe a lot of creatures. And I really like that because now he can just play it and just fire it off straight away.
It's true.
Yikes.
Play the Shaman, sacrifice the Chromatic Star to draw a card and deal 1 damage to everything, which should wipe the board.
Yeah. And then Alex only has 2 cards in his hand, and which they're good cards, but Andreas still has 14 life.
It's true. Interesting. So did not immediately sacrifice anything.
No, he might just play the Carapace here to have a 4/4. And then have it as a backup plan if things go south. You can do it instant speed. Yeah,
whenever you would like, sacrifice any artifact you want. So they have up to 4 there. They can sacrifice if they want. Definitely feels like he wants the Forger.
Yeah, it is. If you want
Forger, rather.
Yeah.
You
can play without sacrificing the Star.
Right.
But he went with just not playing anything. And let's see, then Alex is probably just going to swing with all and see if Andreas will take 2 damage, if he's going to fire.
Yeah, Mogg Conscripts, not the most exciting draw. Sacrifice Darksteel Citadel instead of the Chromatic Star. Now, you can't play the Carapace Forger without green mana, so... But then at that point, it won't be +2/+2 because you won't have Metalcraft. But Obviously, with a Great Furnace in hand, not a huge concern.
No, I think that was I like it. Like if you don't draw a green source, then it's gonna take forever to play the card, and then it's basically just a mulligan. So grinding a little bit here when you have creatures, and you know that your creatures are bigger than whatever Alex is putting on the board.
Right. So at this point, Conscripts and Flame Slash is fine.
Yep.
But there's a lot of heavy beaters on the other side over there, ready to smash.
Ready to smash.
Absolutely. All right, and there's another Goblin Cohort, Mogg Conscripts 2.0. That was big game back in the Betrayers days, let me tell you. For red to get a 1-mana 2-power creature was just, it was unheard of back then. These days, Savannah lines are common, so who cares? Whatever. Magic has moved
playing
on.
in the Betrayers Kamigawa era, so
nice. That's when I came back to Magic. I came back to Magic the day they previewed Skull Clamp on the mothership. Nice. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, this card seems busted. I mean, I ain't played in years, but good God. And turns out, pretty busted.
Yeah.
We have our Myr Enforcer here being dropped.
And it's going to take the Hydroblast. I think it's a bit too many creatures to deal with when Andreas is only at 12 life. And his hand isn't really the best at this point. So I like just firing off the Hydroblast here.
Right. At this point, he's just holding on. There's another Mogg War Marshal. So we're more or less kind of a Bushwhacker away from a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, but I actually think this is, if Andreas blanks his next draw, I actually think with a creature, Alex can just start attacking, and then even a Goblin Grenade would be pretty brutal here.
It's true.
So I think with Goblin Grenade, you will deal 4 damage, so he'll go down to 8, and then a Grenade will just swap the Mogg War Marshal into a new 1/1, and you'll be a 3, being dead to every single card on top of the deck, basically.
Wow. Thoughtcast, though. Chromatic Star into Thoughtcast. Unfortunately, into not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Attacking for 4. Triple, quadruple block. Throw everything in front of that guy.
A good old quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty nice from Andreas, because Andreas he has had 2 cards in his hand for a long time. So if he drew an attack there, and Alex would take 4 damage, go down to 16, then it would actually be lethal. So Alex has to block which is a nice play from Alex as well. He has to block and accept that Andreas could be bluffing.
I see. So do we double block here?
Yeah.
For the same reason, essentially?
Yeah. It's just the attack. The 2 cards in hand, attack is game over. So if you don't want to lose right now, if you think that you can win the long game, then I definitely think that you do.
Looks like Goblins is in a real hurting right now.
Yeah, but as people are pointing out in the chat, Affinity just has so many good ways of dealing with the Goblins because it has the tempo and it has some built-in answers for the Goblins tempo.
It is not looking good.
No, and the 4th and 5th land is not what you want when you play these super aggro decks.
Right. This is where while he was playing around the ATOG, was that the best strategy looking back?
I think that's always what you need to question. I think that's what makes Burn and these super aggro decks pretty hard. Should you Lightning Bolt the Grim Lavamancer, or should you Lightning Bolt the face?
Right.
And here, should I double block and lose 2 or 3 creatures? Is it a winning strategy? How much more do I get from actually blocking besides attacking?
Now, if you attack with the Myr Enforcer and he double blocks with the Goblin Cohorts, okay, he's instead attack with a Frogmite. My thing was, do you fling the Frogmite to get rid of the Cohort, so you essentially 2 for 2 them at that point? Yeah,
I think I could definitely see doing that, but I think you just wait right now you're not behind, but you're also not like. It's just parity, and Andreas is a bit ahead because Alex is drawing nothing.
Right.
So I actually just think that you just sit down and wait to see if Alex wants to trade 1-for-1.
Electrickery is quite the big game on this board.
Yeah.
Pretty
See
gross.
If Andreas equips here, he does.
He does.
Then he's probably just going to attack here.
Because being backed up with Electrickery means he's largely not going to be scared of anything that he could be drawing. He's at 12 life.
Yep.
If
And
Alex had
Gorilla
something,
Shaman. It's a bit late to the battlefield, but it is definitely one of the cards that Alex needs.
yeah, I mean, this is part of what it takes. But good gosh, if it had showed up on turn 2 instead of turn 9 or whatever.
Yeah, but it can block and the conscript block. Oh. Let's see.
Sorry, turn 14.
Yeah, but he still has two jump block with but not with the Electrickery. So Andreas is firing it off here.
So we got a couple turns of smashing in with 5/5s and jump blocking with 2/2s.
But it was nice to see the Gorilla Shaman enter the battlefield because it's just so brutal. Like play it and just kill 4 lands with 4 mana, and that's one more. So he's probably gonna get rid of 4 of the lands here.
Yeah, and a good chump block was had by all.
Yeah, but depending on what Andreas does here, if he attacks, I think if I was in Alex's spot, I think I would just take the 5 and hope that the last card isn't fling, and he didn't draw land.
Right, because it has to be both land and fling.
Yeah,
you got a turn.
Yeah.
And that's the conscripts.
And then he's probably going to eat away the husk thing.
Right. Yeah. Slowly but surely trying to crawl back into this game.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, like drawing 2 gorillas. It's just like Armageddon, one-sided. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, ripping the 2 gorillas was absolutely crucial in terms of what was necessary here.
I think I kind of dislike blocking here because if Andreas draws a Galvanic Blast, then it's just game over. But I can definitely see.
I mean,
and then it is actually game over.
It is unfortunate and it is sad.
Yeah,
but with
there's always a loser and a winner. You actually can get a draw. I had a couple of games ago where I pestilence where we were both at 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but active player, non-active player actually happens?
No, it just drains 1 life from each player, and then it says, good game, it's draw. Game 4.
Oh, there you go.
But Andreas managed to take the advantage here and crush him, even though he got denied of all his mana sources.
Game 1, I felt was a lot more dicey, a lot scarier, essentially on the affinity seat. Whereas this one wasn't quite as much pressure. And when the tide started turning, it just kept getting worse and worse. And Alex was just like brick. Oh, look, Gorilla Shamans, like a million turns too late.
Yeah.
Those things have been opening hand. It would have been an entirely different game with different sorts of pressures. But unfortunately, it looks like Alex was not able to pull that one through. And Andreas Peterson goes to 2-0.
Yeah.
Ready to play you.
Ready to play me.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I have
you ready for this?
Waiting in the sideboard. Just okay.
Fantastic. All right. Well, this is awesome. It's super early for Michael. It's super late for me. I'm ready to hit the hay. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been a fantastic time. Tune back in here shortly where Kendra and Alex will be your commentators to finish out the night. Until then, for Evan Irwin and for Michael, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.